All right. Good morning. Let me adjust my microphone. That was super professional, right? First thing right off the bat, adjust the microphone. Perfect. All right, we're back. It's the beginning of a streaming week, but it's Wednesday. If you are in the US and you had a holiday weekend like I did, I hope yours was a good one. Mine was only okay. I had a lot of things planned, and my plans got sort of preempted by my car getting a flat tire. So that is actually still in the process of getting completely resolved because my car has weird tires that are hard to replace, apparently. But that is not going to stop us from streaming today. So when we left off, we had finished the weapons loadout for this Astraea. There were a lot of them, and for now I've chosen this large bazooka weapon to be the one that he's outfitted with, and I put the shield on the arm as well, just to kind of finish this out. And we'll let this stand off to the side because today the plan is to open and get started with, I'm not sure if we'll be able to finish this entire thing on stream because it might be big, the Avalanche unit for that Astraea. So I have not even taken the runners out of the plastic bags yet, and so it's going to take me a second here at the beginning of the stream to get this organized, because my weekend was so busy and I've been busy this week so far. I didn't have time to prep any of this, so let's just get started here. I don't know that anybody's watching yet anyway, so while we wait for people to show up, might as well open some runners, or open some plastic bags. With any luck, also today, oh, look, here's some nice water slides. That's cool. With any luck today, we're also, for the very first time, thanks to Restream, we should be streaming live on Twitch and YouTube, which we were doing before, and then also on the Gunpla Gallery Facebook page, which is new, and also on Twitter Spaces on my personal Twitter, which is also new. So if you have found me on any of those platforms, welcome. And like I said, this is the first time doing that, so I'm not completely sure that it's even working, but I will check those platforms after and make sure that the stream went out to them. It looked like it was working when we started it up this morning, so that's good. So a lot of yellow parts, which I'm not sure. I mean, we chose the version of the Astraea that has the yellow tips on the ends of the V-fin. That was an option that we chose to include in the version that I built. Other than that, there is no yellow on this mobile suit or on any of his weapons or other accessories. So the Avalanche unit here having a lot of yellow is maybe interesting. Might need to be recolored at some point, we'll see. And then most of the parts, as expected, are in that same sort of pinkish red color. On the camera, it shows up very red. Well, it's a little bit pinkish, but yeah, in real life, that's a lot more of a muted pinkish red color. There's also a glittery action base. I'm not going to take this out of the plastic bag because I don't think we're going to build this on stream. I'll just set that off to the side. But that'll come in handy for displaying this thing at some point in the future. Speaking of displays, I am excited because I found out last night that today should be arriving my display for my Master Grade Virtue Gundam. I'm wearing today this USA Gundam Store shirt in celebration of the fact that they shipped my pre-order of that display base. It's the one that allows you to display it in its purging armor sort of configuration. And I've been saving my snap-built version of that kit, waiting for that to come in so that I can decide how I want to do the final detailing and painting on that kit. Okay, so let's get this organized really fast here. Roughly sorted in alphabetical order so that I'll be able to find these things. A couple more beam saber handles. And we'll drop these back here. All right, very good. So much smaller stack of runners for sure than what we had with the full kit itself, but still quite a bit of plastic. And these two little parts. All right, clean desk. Nippers. Let me grab the instructions. You know what, this is going to be in the way. I don't know where to place this guy. Oh, let me show off a fun new trick that one thing happened over the weekend since I had a bit of extra free time because I could not drive my car. I was able on my computer to play around with some new things. So I have this new trick which allows me to swap my cameras so that I can show you the nice front view of things. That's helpful, I think. And then I have some other tricks as well that we might show off as we go through. But yeah, I had some time this weekend to play a bit with the settings in OBS and streamline some of my process there. So I'm going to drop this guy over here out of the way, and we will get started after maybe first looking through the instructions real fast with this. So quite a bit of, surprisingly, quite a few unused parts. I figured you'd build most of this, but yep, there's some things for the forearms, some shoulder bits. And then the majority of the additions are on the lower legs, of course. So, yeah, all looks pretty straightforward. And then there's that action base at the end. Because this guy, once you get those additions onto his legs, definitely wants to be up in the air, I think. So, and then the decal guide on the back. Simple enough. All right. I think I just hit that camera. Sorry if you were looking at that camera right at that moment. Let's get started. Man, it's, for me, super relaxing to just be sitting down and building a kit. Given, like I said, it's been, well, last Thursday was when I streamed last, and that's actually the last time I've done any building at all at this desk. Sometimes when I'm not streaming, obviously I have some time and I work on something. Unfortunately, because of how busy this past weekend was and all the unexpected things that happened, I've actually not had any time to build at all since last Thursday. So I've actually been super looking forward to just sitting down and building today for a while. It wants us to build the left and right arms separately, so I guess that's what we'll do. Sure. I'm not sure that my restream quality is that great, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. the little stream monitor keeps jumping back and forth between excellent and then a yellow warning that says it's only fair. So that might be something to look into in the future. But for now, I want to build, so let's keep going. One of my crazy busy things that's happened earlier this week, I guess mostly yesterday, is that I designed and 3D printed a case for a small handheld retro video game system. And mostly I just did that for myself because I love this thing and I wanted to throw it in my pocket and not have the screen get scratched. But I made it available the other day for sale on my Etsy shop, and a whole bunch of orders came in yesterday. People must have thought it was cool enough that they wanted one as well. So my 3D printer has been running nearly continuously yesterday afternoon and evening, and so far this morning. I keep having to run out to the garage in between other things to take a print off the printer and start another one. And so that's exciting, but also a little bit nerve-wracking because I want to make sure that I get stuff shipped out to people that ordered it as quickly as possible. If I had known it was going to be as popular as it turned out to be, I would have pre-printed a bunch of the cases, or at least a handful of the cases, so that I would have a inventory to draw from for those first few orders. But also it's kind of customizable in that there are a few different color choices and logo choices that you can have put on the thing, and so it would have been hard for me to guess ahead of time which ones were going to be the most popular if I wanted to pre-print things. So that's my first foray into actually selling a 3D printed item. And it's been a little more crazy than I expected. But I'm not complaining, for sure. All right, let's see. This fits on there. This fits here. I guess that we probably wants us to fit these things onto the actual mobile suit. So let's remove this shield and this bazooka. Oh, I didn't mention, but the little tab that's built into the hand on this one, usually I don't like those, but this thing fit into the handle really, really well. I was actually quite impressed earlier when I put that bazooka in the hand. It was hard to do at first, but once I got it lined up just right, it snapped in there super solid, and it was definitely not going anywhere. So that's one thing that's good to be aware of with the design of these hands. Like I said, I usually don't like this style of hand, but it seemed quite good, at least for holding that bazooka. I have not tried all of the rest of the weapons. All right, so this is his right arm. And I think that we may not be able to do this. Well, we'll see. Because this is wanting to be the F2 style. I'll put this up there so you can see it from the top view. And we built the Type F arms, the ones with this little extra piece here. So I'm not sure that this fits over the arm, but we're about to find out. I suppose. Yeah, so that fits in there. I'm trying to figure out the correct orientation. This goes on the back here. And if that's the case, then it is true that this piece, it won't work with this piece. So weirdly today, that's the second time that's happened. My computer wants to go into sleep mode, turn off the monitor while streaming. Never happened before. And when I catch it, I reach over and move the mouse, obviously to keep it awake. So let's temporarily take this piece off because I think that's going to make fitting this arm much easier. And then we'll see if it's possible to fit with that piece on once I get the sort of the feel of how this works. Right, so this actually goes on the front of the arm, I believe, and this other piece goes on the back, is what it looks like to me. Yeah. So if that's the case, then this wants to fit in there. Yeah, that's definitely not going to fit with this piece in here. So you have to have the version that has the little green clear part in there if you want, or because you're going to cover it up anyway. I guess you can just do what I've done here and just remove that bit. And then this will sandwich on the back side. Like so. So what we end up with is this little extension on the back side of his arm. Hey, I can try out something new. If I remember how to do it, right? So the other thing I set up this weekend was a connection from my phone camera. Yeah, this works. So now I can show you a close-up like so. Yeah. So there's that extension on the back of the arm. That's what it looks like. Oh, focus. There we go. That's what it looks like from the front. Yeah. All right, I guess we will throw the one on the other side as well while we're at it. Let me work on getting this piece out first. Come on. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna throw these over there so they don't get lost. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Oh, you know what? There were a couple little more detail parts that I did not put on there. There's some of these yellow parts. So I mentioned earlier I wasn't sure about having yellow, given that there's none. Hey, look at that. Welcome everyone. We are building the Avalanche unit for the Astraea Gundam and just got started like 10 minutes ago. So thank you for showing up and checking this out. All we've got so far is a little bit of an extension to one of the forearms. And I'll show you that in a second when I get these final couple of detail parts onto it. Hope everybody's having a good day. Mine's been pretty good so far. Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I've only started doing this Twitch streaming. I've been building Gunpla for a long time, but I've only started streaming on Twitch for, you know, just a couple of weeks. So everybody who follows is greatly appreciated because, like, those small numbers are sad, right? When you look at your follower count and it's tiny. RG Destiny, I think, yeah, I've built that. I just snap built it. I didn't paint it or anything like that. And that's been a long time ago. But yeah, so let's try this trick again. Let me grab my phone real quick and connect up this extra camera. Right? Hey, that works. Cool. So if I can get this to focus, right, there is the first little extra bit of the Avalanche armor that goes on the back of the forearm. And then it kind of wraps around the front like so. Hey, that's a fun trick. I just figured that out over the weekend, so this past weekend I had some free time. I was playing with cameras and settings in OBS and such, so that was fun. All right, let's build the other matching bit of the opposite forearm. I've been trying to figure out for myself, since you mentioned going to paint a Gundam, I've been trying to figure out if it's possible to paint and stream painting. However, for me, my paint setup is outside in my garage. And so currently that would be tricky to do because I have no cameras or, you know, other things out there. And it's kind of a messy space. So one of these days, maybe I'll figure out how to stream some painting and scribing and all of the other work that I do on Gunpla besides just the building steps. I think that'd be cool to do, but I haven't figured out how yet. So for now, I will just continue snap building up all of my backlog on stream and then do all of those other steps in the other time that I have in between streams. I'm going to move this guy back out of the way a bit because I've almost knocked it over with runners like 4 times in the last 3 minutes. Oh yeah, I discovered Pretzel a few weeks ago. I like it. Seems cool. It's music that I don't have to think about, that I know is going to be, you know, safe copyright wise. So yeah, seems good so far. No complaints. That was the wrong runner. Let's try this one instead. I missed a part. See, I did need this runner after all. Somehow I knew, I just wasn't looking at the right part when I picked it up. That's the story I'm going with. All right. So let's see if we can show this better on camera than I did last time. So this part slots into this area on his forearm where normally his shields and weapons can slot into. And then these parts kind of snap around the outside of it. Just like so, to sandwich in this extension piece that goes on the back. Still not sure if I'm crazy about the yellow highlights. It's a very light, almost like lemon yellow. And it goes okay with the reddish shade of the armor. But my preference when I paint this thing will probably be to change it entirely. So I'll have to look at the whole thing when it's built and then decide, I think. I do like that there are different color. I don't like the yellow necessarily, but I like that they're a different color because all of the red was starting to be maybe a bit too much on the mobile suit. So it's nice to have some sort of an accent color to break it up. And I think we're going to be seeing, given looking at the runners, I think we're going to be seeing more of that as we build out other parts of the armor extensions. All right, so we'll drop that over there out of the way for the moment, and then looks like next are some updates or some different parts for the shoulders. Yeah, so there's like these big shoulder mounted shield parts. And let's build those. Might be all. Actually, we're going to build both of these simultaneously, I think, because they are the same. They're not different from left and right sides. So let's just go ahead and build them in parallel here. Yeah, so with that display stand for the Master Grade Virtue that I mentioned earlier, probably arriving today, I really want to switch over to that project. So I have a Dynamis and Curios that I detailed up, you know, way back when those kits first came out. Added a bunch of panel scribing and some custom paint, and I'm really excited about how those both turned out. And I'm a big fan of the 00 anime anyway. So I've been looking forward to Virtue for a long time, and I have it, and I snap built it. But I have been holding off on doing any detailing on it until I saw this stand. So the stand allows you to display it with the armor purging, to, you know, expose the Gundam Nodley inside. And with that arriving, I really want to kind of put everything else off to the side and just work on that. The idea is to scribe that Virtue Gundam up in a similar style to what I did to the details that I added on the other two in the series. But again, I don't know how engaging that would be on stream, so I'm still not sure about streaming the process of detailing and scribing a kit. We'll see. Maybe I'll give it a shot sometime next week or something, and see what people think about it. And you can let me know if that would be something you'd be interested to see or not. Usually for me, a scribing session is, you know, me concentrating a whole lot more than I do when I'm just snap building, for sure. And so, you know, just kind of sitting in silence and working very slowly and methodically, planning out panel lines and then scribing them. So, like I said, not super sure how engaging that is to watch on stream. But if you're interested in my process, that is definitely a big part of it. All right, so let's start. Actually, I lied. Let's not start just yet. Let's grab the same parts from the other matching runner for the opposite shoulder. there was one more. There it is. All right, now let's begin for real. So that's quite simple. And then there's a little yellow accent piece. Actually, so this has sort of following through on the theme that happens on a lot of these 00 kits, with these yellow sort of thruster vent round bits that show up in various places around the kit. The Astraea itself did not have any, but it looks like this Avalanche unit has like maybe 5 or 6 total, including a very small one, which is different from what we've seen, I think, in a lot of the other 00 kits. So that's nice to see kind of a continued theme again for things like what I've done with the other first season 00 kits, having design elements that carry over from one kit to another like that, or from one mobile suit design to another, makes it so that if you're trying to make a series and paint them in a way that they look like they all go together and maybe were created in the same factory by the same design team, then you can locate those shared common design elements and highlight them and color them the same way and that sort of thing when you're doing your build. So I like that. All right, so this little accent piece goes here. It doesn't seem to want to fit well, but it does go here. It's very unusual. Did I grab the wrong one? I grabbed the wrong one. That's the problem. See, if a part doesn't fit, that's probably because you cut the wrong part off the runner. That other one is a matching similar part that's narrower, that probably goes on one of the leg units in a little while, is my guess. Hey, look, that one fits. Let's use this one here since it fits. All right, and then one of our only 2, I think it looked like from the instructions, the first page of the instructions, I think we only used 2 polycaps off of this giant polycap runner that they gave us. And here's one of them. It slots in here to serve probably as the attach point onto the shoulder, is my guess. All right, so this snaps into here. So we're gonna get a little pivot out of it up here. But obviously we need another piece to snap on first so that that doesn't fall apart when I try to bend it. All right, I guess this one goes on first. Right, so this opens up to expose that thruster inside. Just making sure it was this one. It was not. It was this one. Since I know I need it, let's grab this poly cap here before we start the assembly of the opposite shoulder. All right, so this goes on here. And we got the version that fits this time. First try. Put this on first. All right, I need that darker red piece. So this one here, I believe. No. It looks like that one, but it's actually this wider version over here. This goes the other way. All right. So if you're wondering, why are these other two parts sitting here? And they've been sitting there for a while. I looked ahead and we were gonna need them in the next step anyway, so I went ahead and grabbed them off of the runner, but they're actually not part of this assembly. So this assembly is the thing that goes, looks like on the outsides of the shoulders. Eventually they will go like here, I believe. However, we need to build the structure that fits over the tops of the shoulders and makes them bulkier and gives these a place to attach onto first. So that's what these are for. In addition, obviously, to some other things that we need. First, let's see, we need the tiny thruster as well. This one here. Looks like rain maybe outside is on its way, which is a bit unusual. Where I live, it rains quite often in the afternoons, but right now it's morning for me, and we don't get a lot of rain in the morning here. Looks like we're about to, though. Probably good for me. I have some projects that I have to do out in my garage at some point today. And it gets real hot out in my garage if the weather's warm outside, so maybe some rain will help cool it off. Alright, our Q runner, we need 20, which is this one here. These parts are really large. I think they're the inner frame for those extensions, skis, or whatever they are that go on the legs. Yeah, I'm going to continue, in my mind at least, calling them skis until someone corrects me and lets me know what they're actually called. Actually, the instructions probably will let me know what they're called when we get there. Just looking ahead to make sure we don't need this runner again. We don't. But we need its matching friend. All right, let's see, what else do we need? Well, for the moment, we can get started with these. I'm slightly concerned about removing this. No, it's fine. It won't snap in there too tightly, I don't think. So this goes here, and then this slides in here, but it does provide, there's a little slot on the back side of this that I'll be able to reach into with a narrow separator tool or maybe a toothpick or something to be able to get this part out later on. Now I'm not sure if this is supposed to sit flush or be slightly separated like it is here. See, there's a little gap there, and if I try to push this flush, it wants to just pop out. That may just be, yeah, let's grab a toothpick, and if I shift how this is seated up here on this top end, I can probably, yeah, push that like so and make this sit flush. Yep, that's the secret. All right, there we go. That's better. And once again, toothpick to the rescue. I've told you before, toothpicks are the most important tool. Also, I forgot to put this in there, so I will do that now. Yeah, there we go. This time when I insert this, I'll try to keep it flush down at this end so that I don't have to fix it. Yeah, that worked out. All right, so I need these big bulky shoulder bits. And now we are going to do right and left separately. So let's start with the right shoulder, which wants 7 and 10. So these two. So this mystery runner that has just one part on it, we get to use that part. And that's our first completed runner that gets thrown on the floor for this build. Yeah, it was a tiny one, but it still counts. We finished one runner. All right, so let's fit this together. This peg here is where this is going to fit on, I'm sure. It's coming out of the shoulder at that angle that makes sense for that. Ah, that's upside down. No wonder it's not gonna fit. There we go. So that fits together like that. This part that we've already built fits onto the side like this. if it's in there nicely. So this will be the back of the shoulder with these thrusters. And then I need a little... let's see, one piece off of here, just to act as a cap on the top of that shoulder. It's this right here. And then we have two more of those yellow detail bits. I think we're still streaming. My monitor actually went to sleep. I saw it fading out and did not have time to move the mouse to wake it back up. So I had to wait and wake the monitor back up, but it seems that everything is still running. That's really weird because typically when you're running OBS, it signals your computer not to sleep anything. And that doesn't seem to be working today, but I didn't change anything, so I'll have to dive into my settings and figure that out. All right, so this wants to go on this way. And then these go on here to just kind of cover up this little seam. There we go. Yeah, so the more I look at this, the more I think that a very dark color scheme for this kit, like a dark gray, almost black look with all of these yellow trim bits replaced with some sort of like teal or maybe an orange or something would be good. Although I've done plenty of gray and orange paint schemes. I like that scheme, but maybe I've done it too many times already. So I should come up with something different for this one. We'll see. However, over here, I believe that to get this to work with this shoulder, you have to pull this top cap part off. And that's going to be a little tricky. You know what? I'm going to take the arm off. I thought I was going to take the arm off. It's quite solid. Yeah, there we go. All right, this way we can work with just the shoulder by itself. And I may have to go get my part separator to be able to extract this part, because I don't believe that my fingernail is going to fit into this space. Oh, never mind. I did get it. All right, so with this exposed, I believe that becomes the attachment point for this shoulder armor bit to fit onto. And then I wonder if we get, yeah, we do get a couple other parts that go on here to sort of cover this unsightly piece. So yeah, this is another extra piece that comes off. I'm gonna keep that in the pile of extra pieces that came off. Cool. So now let's go ahead and finish this up off of the rest of the kit, and then we'll put the arm and shoulder back on once I finish it. That seems easier to do it that way. All right, so we need 14 and 15 here. All right, so this is the back and this is the front, I believe. We'll put the front on first. Yeah, so that definitely adds a lot of bulk to the shoulder. I like it. And then there's another beam saber handle you can put up here. Let's actually take the ones, I'll borrow these. Hey, Ghost Sword, good morning. Yeah, we'll just borrow the beam saber handles off the back skirt for the moment. I'm not sure. I think those are probably going to get covered up by future work. So it's probably better to take them off anyway. There were, I think, 2 or maybe 4 extra beam saber handles on the runners. Yes, you may see him in the current version as we have him sort of part disassembled. So this is the Astraea Type F, and we're adding on the Avalanche unit, which adds these extensions on the back of the arms so far, and now we're working on shoulders, and then there's going to be a bunch of stuff on the legs. So yeah, that's what we're currently working on. And let's go ahead and put this shoulder back on. So this will be interesting because we can see the original shoulder without all of this extra added bulk. And then we can see it with the additions and kind of compare. Move this polycap a little easier. So this fits on here. That slots in nicely. Like this folds down and fits right into this extension here. So that's nice. I like that a lot. Yeah, cool. All right, and that's all for the shoulder. So that's what it looks like there. Actually, I can stand him up this way. Then we'll swap over to this camera so you can see. You could make like an asymmetric version of this thing with the one big shoulder and the one regular shoulder, I suppose. That would be interesting too, potentially. But yeah, he definitely has that kind of full armor vibe to him with this extra bulk on the shoulders for sure. And there it is from the back. So you get this little thruster bit, And then this folds out as well to expose another one of those thrusters up there in the shoulder armor. Yeah, he's wanting to, the waist is wanting to be lopsided off to one side now because he's actually a little bit top heavy to his right because of the one shoulder being big and the other one not. So we'll leave him there for the moment. Clean the nubs out of the way and go ahead and build the opposite shoulder, which we have a lot of these parts already in place for it. So hopefully we can fairly quickly put that together. Ace Combat. I'm not familiar with that. I assume, based on the title, that it must be some sort of a like aircraft combat style game, like military aircraft maybe. Yeah, fighter jets. Cool. I used to build fighter jet model kits. I have not in many years, but I used to enjoy doing that quite a bit as well. Military aircraft and then trying to paint them up and weather them to make them look authentic. I also, for many years, had the idea that I wanted to see if I could get my pilot's license. Just, you know, to fly small planes. I never did set aside the time or the money to do that. I suppose I still could. I'm less interested in it now than I used to be, though. Yeah, I mean, for me, that's the thing that I really enjoy a lot about Bandai kits, especially in the way they snap fit, is that you can pretty much always assume that everything's going to fit well and that you're not going to need to do a lot of extra, you know, putty or, you know, super glue to fill things or whatever, unless you make a mistake and you need to fix it yourself. What comes out of the box usually always fits together just about perfectly. I think I grabbed the wrong one. Oh no, there it is. So this expansion has obviously way fewer runners than the actual mobile suit had itself. However, I seem to be having more trouble keeping track of which runner's which and also accidentally dropping them on the floor. So give me a second while I reach down and pick up the one I dropped. All right, that's better. Hey, we have a raid, and it's, yeah, the best raid. Thanks. So welcome everyone. We're working on the Avalanche unit for this Astraea Gundam. We finished the mobile suit itself last time on stream, and so today we are working on adding the Avalanche parts. So it sounds like you guys are having a good day so far. I hope you're having a good day. So this is a nerve-wracking moment because there's a little bit of disassembly required to get these shoulder parts back or added on. All right, it survived. And that's the extra part we don't need because this fits on here. The Type F is based on the original Master Grade Astraea, and so it's okay, but if you've ever built the original Master Grade Astraea, you know that it has some issues, especially like the feet and ankles. So I can show you, like anytime I try to stand this guy up, right? Let me switch cameras. So if I just try to stand this thing up, it wants to lean forward on its ankles or back, but it wants to fall over. It does not want, right here, it does not want to be solid. And these two ankle armor bits are flappy. Well, that one stayed up that time, but like, yeah. So mostly it's just that it's not solid here. and so it wants to fall over. But you know, this being the version with the Avalanche unit, and it comes with a action base that you can display it up off the ground. Once you get the extensions on the legs, you kind of need to display it up off the ground. That won't be as big of an issue because it won't have to stand on its feet. But yeah, it's building it has made me want, as I often do, to have a 2.0 Exia for sure. Yeah, and actually this action base, let me grab it, it's on the floor over here. For whatever reason, they molded this action base in like this sparkly kind of teal green colored plastic. So that's interesting too. So yeah, that came in the box along with the Avalanche unit. I mean, it seems okay so far. I'm just building it now, right? So we'll see when it's done. But so far it seems okay. It's definitely adding a lot of bulk to the kit, you know, for sure. Like this whole shoulder section was pretty bare before, for sure. So if you like a full armor style Gundam, then this is probably gonna be right up your alley. Yeah, so there's the second shoulder done. We'll see if we can fit this back together. Yeah, try not to break the Gundam live on stream, right? There we go. Yeah, so he's more balanced now. He probably still can't stand up on his ankles, but from side to side, definitely more balanced than it was a few minutes ago. Even just turning him around, he wants to lean forward. Yeah. So there you go. And I think that's the arms and shoulders done for the Avalanche unit add-ons. So those were, switching back here, those were obviously these large shoulder units, but then also these little bits that sit on the back of the forearms. Basically anything with the yellow trim was added on. So I like the look of it, the bulkier look of it with these shoulders on for sure. And next, our leg units. And I don't think I have time to build all of them, and so maybe we'll save those for next time. Yeah. Yeah, I think we will save those for next time. So you guys all just got here. Those of you who are still hanging around, should I send you somewhere else? Is there another channel that we want to go check out? Nobody has an idea for a channel that we want to check out?
Bananas in pajamas.
Oh,
Hell yeah, bananas in pajamas. Watch this.
well, see, I'd like to find another, somebody building some Gunpla. But I don't see one right now. Hold on, let me see what I can find. All right, here we go. I don't know this builder, but they're masking some parts for painting.